Hello friends, and welcome back to my haunted life. I haven't been on in quite some time. I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to take this channel in, since I've pretty much told you the entire story about my other house and then a few other things. But I thought I'd pop on, give you an update, because I had a couple things happen around here, new things, and one of them was super creepy and scared me so bad I couldn't sleep for like 3 nights. Okay, so in my hallway we have the crawl space access door, which used to be located in my closet, but when we remodeled the house 7 years ago, we relocated it from the closet to the hallway. And it's right up against the closet door. I'm going to take a picture of it and put it up here for you. And my husband comes home and says, "Hey, were you up in the crawl space?" And I said, "No, I've never been up in that crawl space. Why would I go up there? There's nothing up there. Literally, we store nothing up there. It's too hot. It's like 200 degrees in the summer up there. And not to mention, it's really, really small, really tight fit. And I'm a claustrophobic person. I'd never go up there." Anyway, I said, "Why? Why would you ask me that?" And he said, "Well, the door's open." And I look up and the door is moved off to the side like somebody had climbed up or climbed down. So creepy. I got super creeped out and worried. I couldn't sleep for days, and still, and this is like a month ago, still every time I get up in the middle of the night I check that stupid crawl space door. It terrifies me. I don't know why. Too many movies. Super creepy. Also, my refrigerator will not stop talking in the night. Sometimes I'm dead asleep and it wakes me up. I can hear Alexa talking from my refrigerator out in the kitchen. So I don't know what that's about. Or, I don't sleep well, so I'll be up watching TV at midnight, and Stevie's out there with me, my pit bull puppy. He's a year old now. Dude is scared of everything. He's laying across the back of the love seat. I'm sitting on the love seat. All of a sudden Alexa pipes up and says, "I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said." And we both jumped. He jumped like a foot off the back of the couch. I didn't even see his feet push himself up. I don't know how. It was all of a sudden looked like he was floating in the air. He jumped so high. Scared him. Scared me too, but holy moly. So she's been doing that almost every night for like the past 2 months. Maybe longer. I don't know. I don't know why she keeps doing that. I have Alexas all around the house. The other ones don't do that. Once in a while, the one in the bedroom will pipe up, but other than that, they don't do that. Just the refrigerator. I don't know why. Anybody else have this issue? Does she say weird things? The refrigerator has said a couple of strange things too, like in the middle of the day when Robert and I are home, she'll all of a sudden pipe up and start telling us something creepy when we didn't ask her about it. So I'm not sure why that's happening. But Alexa's starting to really freak me out. My refrigerator scares me. So those are a few things. Trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, so the pit bull. He patrols the house at night. And he makes me jumpy because he gets jumpy. One night, it was in the middle of the night and I was sleeping, and he sleeps with us. He sleeps between us. And all of a sudden I felt him jump up. And I was facing my closet. I'm laying down facing my closet. I feel him jump up from behind me. So I look up. I can see him from the moonlight coming in from the windows. And he's standing up and staring at the same thing I can see standing in front of me. And then I was like, oh, I thought I was dreaming. I saw a woman come up from the side of the bed and just look at me. Her hair was wet. She didn't look evil. She didn't look angry. She didn't look anything. She just was standing there looking at me. She didn't look like she was questioning or wondering. She just was standing there looking at me with a blank stare. I don't know how to explain the wet hair, but that's what it was. She had dark hair and it was wet. And I thought I was dreaming. I didn't think I was really seeing it. And then when he jumped up and was staring right over my head at the same thing I'm looking at, then I knew. He didn't bark. It was like he was too scared to bark. So he just stood there. And then after a couple minutes I said, "It's okay, we're okay. Lay back down, bud." It took him a while, and then he jumped up several more times. And after that, and I had closed my eyes and wasn't looking anymore, so apparently it lingered for a while. I don't know who that was or why her hair was wet. We do have a pool here, though. Previous occupant at some point? I don't know. The house is not super old. It was built in 68. So I don't know what that was about, but it was creepy nonetheless. I'd be really freaked out if I wasn't used to these things, but as creepy as that sounds. So that made me a little bit uneasy. Is she the same one that moved the attic door? I don't know. The attic door thing worries me the most. So anyway, that's just new what's up going on in my haunted life because I am who I am. But I wanted to let you know that I have decided in the direction I'm taking this channel, and I am going to start bringing on guests if I can get more people to agree to it. A lot of people are kind of leery about telling their stories. One of my friends is going to come on and tell his story as a trucker from the road. I'm super excited. I cannot wait to share that with you. I haven't heard his story. I'm waiting for him to tell us at the same time. So we will be recording that tomorrow, so you'll be seeing that in about a week out. I'm so excited. Again, and if you have a paranormal story that you would love to share, you can send it to my email, or if you want to be on the show, again, send me an email and let's discuss it because I would love to have you on. I probably have my sister on at some point as well because, you know, growing up with me, she has a lot of stories too. And I have other friends that I think have good stories. I have another friend who, or actually it's my daughter's friend. My daughter has a friend who is military, and I would love for him to come on and tell his story. I don't know that he will, though. He pretends he doesn't have stories, but I know he does. How can you not, right? Anyway, so that is the direction I'm going to be taking this channel. I think it'll be super fun. And sorry I haven't posted in a long time. I have 2 other channels, so 3 total. It makes for a lot of, I have a main channel that I post on almost daily. So it doesn't leave a lot of extra time, but to be honest, this is my favorite channel. So I'm going to keep it up, and I'm going to post more things. So tell your friends if they are interested in the paranormal, please share my channel with them so that we can grow as a community. And again, feel free to share your stories. My email's in the description box. Email me. I do have one story from a subscriber. One subscriber story for you. All right, here is a subscriber story that was submitted a while back, and I hadn't gotten a chance to come on here and read it. This is from Bren's Den, and I'm just going to read it as she writes it. It's called The Lost CD. She says, "My dad was one of the nicest men I've ever known. He was kind and very giving person. He would rock babies to sleep, invent recipes, and give them fancy names so that kids would eat them, or the picky eaters would eat them, and he would look after you if you were sickly. He also tried his best to fix things, although not a very good handyman. As I remember him trying to mend a door and actually drilling into his own hand and telling me not to say anything to my mom about what he had done, and then he had to go to the emergency room because his hand kept spurting blood. My parents had over 60 years of marriage. Unfortunately, my dad developed dementia after having a mini stroke and would get night terrors, also known as sundowners. This led to a lot of sleepless nights, just making sure he was safe at night. On the day that he passed away, he had been in the hospital several days, and his oxygen level was so low he needed to be monitored and put on oxygen for the weekend. Unfortunately for him, the doctor ordered morphine, and my dad slipped into a deep sleep to help him breathe and remain calmer. When my sister told me this, I asked her to see doctor, as to me it seemed like an end-of-life type of thing to me, and my dad had not opened his eyes all weekend, according to my mother and her. My sister went to the hospital really early and saw the doctor and expressed her concerns, and he ordered less that day. Around 1 p.m., my dad opened his eyes, and my sister said there are those lovely blue eyes, and he smiled. And my mother asked him for a kiss, and he turned his head to give her one. My sister's friend who had stopped by to visit went to get him some ice cream or a yogurt from the nurse's pantry, and while she was gone, my dad's skin color changed, and he gasped and simply stopped breathing, and a code was issued, but my mom said, please stop and let him go, as she knew his quality of life was gone for him, and the man she married was no longer with her in his mind. My brother and sister-in-law came for the funeral along with other family members, and we celebrated this man's life together. Lots of happy memories, and we ate food and we laughed, and we had a few adult beverages too. Now, my mother was in the hunt for a CD Dad liked to listen to, and we searched everywhere for it. My brother and I were in Mom and Dad's bedroom, and the solar wind chimes went off that sat on her dressing table. Kind of odd. It was late afternoon and no sun was in it, and we looked at each other and shrugged and laughed and said, okay, Dad, we hear you. And the bloody CD player popped open, and she had it on too. No CD was in it, but we got the message all right, so we had to find it. My brother's face was priceless and pale now, and he said, well, that's a bit weird. We looked in every case to see if it had been put in the wrong one and still couldn't find it. Later that night, my daughter was sitting in the sofa, sipping a glass of wine, and the door opened next to her, and she was startled as no one came in. However, right next to the door was the CD player they used during the day, and I said, has anyone looked in there to find this CD? And my sister said, I didn't, but I looked anyway, and there it was, and my mom looked too. I must be blind. I put a glass of whiskey on his ashes that night and told him to rest easy and that we would play it for you. And we did, and sang the old songs, and remember funny and spooky stories about all the things over the years, and many confessions were made around that dining room table about the things we did as children and young adults. You can blame Ron Bacardi and Jack Daniels for those spirited tales. Oh, that's a really nice story. Super nice story, Brenda, and that was submitted by Brenda. So there you go. Subscriber story. Anybody else with stories they'd like to share? Please email me. Again, my email's in the description box below. If you'd like to be on my show and tell your own story, I would absolutely love that. So email me and let's do it. Anyway, friends, so it's a little bit short today because I just had those couple of weird updates. I'm trying to think, what else big happened in my house. I tend to not tell you all the little stuff because the daily stuff that happens, the noises, the whispering, the talking. I often hear a lot of chatter around here. I know you can hear it behind me. Odd day, my window is open and there are neighbors outside talking to each other, so that's not my house, it's the neighbors. Which doesn't usually happen, so everybody's usually at work at this time. It's a noisy day out there. Oh, by the way, on my other channel, I have a sewing channel, and it's just called Sew Practical, S-E-W Practical. I was editing one of those videos, a sewing video of all things, right? So I'm editing a sewing video, and I could hear knocking in the background because a lot of times they're on the other side of the wall I'm sitting at. When my kids moved out and we became empty nesters, we converted my youngest son's bedroom into my sewing room, which is where I'm at. And then there is an extra bedroom that has gone through almost all the kids except him. My oldest two have taken turns using that bedroom. And also my stepson. It is empty. I mean, not empty. It has furniture in it, and I keep a lot of extra small appliances in there on shelves. But there's a bed in there. My grandkids stay in it when they come over. But nobody lives in that room, and knocking keeps coming from that side of the wall. A lot of times, middle of the day when I'm in here sewing or making videos. But I was making a sewing video and I was editing it, and as I'm editing it, I can hear all that knocking in that video. I wish I would have saved the footage. I edited it out, deleted it, and thought, why the heck didn't I save that knocking so I could put it on here for you guys? Because I'm terrible about catching footage when I see crazy things or when I hear stuff. I don't know. I never think to pick my phone up and record it. I don't know why. not good at it. I can tell you the story, but I'm not really good at catching anything. So I should have saved that footage for you. If it happens again, I will make sure I save that, but it's most of the time when I'm in this room. It's weird noises, knockings, whisperings. And it's always during the middle of the day when I'm home alone and just making videos or sewing or whatever I'm doing. There has been a few times though where I've been in my kitchen making a cooking video on my cooking channel, Jeni's Scratch Made Kitchen, and you can hear knocking or voices from the back of the house. When I'm up there, I can hear a lot of talking back here. That happens daily. Makes Steve uneasy. He doesn't like that. Poor little Steve. He's a little pit bull, scared of everything. And whoever said pit bulls are dangerous and mean, they're stupid. My poor little Stevie. He gets so scared. You can see the look on his face. He's so expressionable. Anyway, so that is it for today. But next week I am going to have a really good video for you. I cannot wait to share John's story with you. So anyway, friends, I'll be back. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.